everybody and welcome to this week's video. I've got a special guest with me today. It's Dr. Sean from ISL Qatar. Some of you won't know, but we actually have a sister school, the International School of London in Qatar, and we as the two schools are trying to do more and more together. I can just give you a couple of examples. We've been developing some big technology plans, looking at ways that there's two schools can work together. ISL Qatar's got a very developed technology program there. And on a smaller scale, we've also been looking recently at the Research Institute, because as you know, we set up a Research Institute here in London, and Qatar has adopted it, and actually they've also set up a research hub. So there's two examples of the way we collaborate, but we're also looking to collaborate more and more and look at ways that we can support each other as two schools. So Dr. Sean has been over here this week. I'm going to be going over to Qatar in the near future, I hope. And I'm just going to ask Dr. Sean about some of the things that he's seen and what he's been looking at and what's been of interest. So Dr. Sean.
Yeah, well, good morning, and thank you for having us. It's been such a tremendous opportunity to be here, and certainly the whole school community has been very hospitable. In addition to what you've mentioned, I would say a few of the key aspects that I really enjoyed seeing and learning from ISL are in the areas of the forest school, transitions care, and mother tongue, or I guess here we actually say language and literature, and language acquisition.
Just going back to some of those, I saw you out with the, well, we came out and found you in the forest school. It looked like you had a very enjoyable time out there.
It was very windy that day.
Yeah, it was.
So, bit colder than Qatar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really interested in the forest school because actually we're trying to develop the concept of a forest school and become a green flag school in Qatar. And as part of that, we're trying to develop in our own context some kind of a forest or garden school. I'll
just tell everyone this is quite amazing because being in Qatar, of course, they are in the desert, so they're trying to develop a garden area and then look at how the forest school here can support that. So that's forest school. And then I interrupt you as well. You're talking about the mother tongue program, or home languages as we tend to call it more and more.
Yes. So our context is different, but just looking at, because this is the original campus, and ISL has always been considered very innovative and progressive in terms of learning languages. Really, we want to come and learn and find out, what is it that ISL is doing that we can continue to carry forward and put into practice in our own context. Obviously, it's a little bit different just because of the region we're in and some of the governmental requirements, but there's still a lot of just wonderful ideas and practices that we can take from here and adopt and really think about putting in place in Qatar.
It's worth saying, just so you know, that ISL Qatar is the youngest school by quite a long way, actually. So ISL London is seen as the founding school, and we all know that it has a very well developed languages program. Multilingualism is something we're known for across the world. And thirdly, you talk about transitions.
Yeah, so I have a colleague here, Mal, who's also here specifically around transitions, and she was with Miss Claudine last week in a symposium and learned a lot there, and they collaborated with other schools that are doing interesting things around transitions care around the world. But of course, as you know, ISL has received awards for transition care here, and it's very much something we would like to do because Doha, much like London, is an international center, and we have lots of different kinds of transitions, and we know from the research that transition has a really big impact, important impact on students, their well-being and their learning. And so we would like to, we have been here learning about transitions care from ISL, and we continue that partnership on an ongoing basis, and we're looking forward to putting elements of ISL's transition care into practice in Qatar.
I think you all know that well-being is such a central focus for schools at the moment, particularly coming out of COVID, and a lot of you will know that we've been working on something called the ISL Charter that also looks at aspect of that. So it's really not surprising that anything to do with well-being is an area that tends to be a focus for schools when they talk to each other at the moment. And so it's really no surprise that ISL Qatar has been looking at the transitions programme. So thank you, everybody. There's a little introduction to Dr. Sean and ISL Qatar, and I will be going there as well in the not too distant future, I hope, and I will talk to you later about what we're doing reciprocally when I'm there. So thank you, look forward to speaking to you next week.
Thanks.